Hey y'all, I am back with a little process for my Thankful 30 from a couple of years ago, and I'm going to be using this little mini album from, I think it's from Citrus Twist Kits, I believe. I am using the little kit that I created in a post about a week ago, I think, about a week-ish ago. And I just showed that if you grab a few things that you can create with them without having to go through your whole stash, especially if you're on the go or you're doing something like out of town or in the car. If you grab a few things, create a couple of little kits, you'll have some things ready to go to create a couple of pages. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just measuring the size of this little pocket protectors or the sleeve protectors. What are they? Page protectors. And I measured that first so that I could have a paper that would fit in those pockets, and then I'm cutting down my photo. The photos that I'm using are like, I think they're like 4x4 photos, and so they're pretty large. I think they would have taken up pretty much all of the width of the um, page, and so I decided to cut it down. I guess I'm going to cut it down a little bit more because when I pulled some things for the kit, and really I just pulled things that I haven't used in a while, and that was my main motivation. But whenever I pulled things for the kit, I pulled this cute little frame that I've had in my stash for a long time, and I'm like, it's time to use it. So I have the picture cut down. I had some adhesive on like around the frame, and then I add adhesive on the back. And I'm gonna before I stick that down, I'm going to grab the tag, this manila shipping tag that I got from Amazon, or I got a whole bunch of them from Amazon. And then I'm going to just create a little like corner embellishment as well. Add this piece. I do this a lot just to kind of add some like interest at the bottom of the page. I do this on scrapbooking pages as well. And then now I have a nice little anchor for my photo in the frame. And so you'll see that there's not much room left on this page, and so there's not a whole lot that I need to do to it. And I decided just to kind of play around with the embellishments that I've pulled for this kit. And I say kit, it's a very small little mini kit, and it's just to show you that you can pull things you haven't used in a long time and basically like force yourself to use them. So I have these wood veneer pieces from Hobby Lobby that I've had in my stash a long, long time, and I think I try really hard to use most of these. I mean, at least one of them. I don't think I use all of them though, and I may even use two. I can't really remember, but I think my goal was to at least use one or two, and I can't remember at this point how many I actually ended up using. I think I had three left, and so I am trying to figure out what I want to add for finishing touches on this. I do have these little tiny text words that I created myself and cut down. If I can remember correctly, these are those, I believe. I just used some sticker paper and I um, wrote out some sayings that I feel like make sense for me and my family, and then I loaded it into the silhouette and just had it cut them for me so that I would have them ready to roll. And I just used black font, so it was pretty easy. So that one is done. Now I'm going to work on another page. And I've had these Thankful 30 photos in my stash for a long time, and I've had a really hard time trying to figure out what I want to use this album for. Like initially I thought I would use this album for like my son's birth, my youngest son, and while I have a lot of photos, I found it hard to like figure out how I was going to tie that into the rest of like our life. And so if I do Project Life, I'm like I have a whole separate album for him. So I don't know. I just decided to use these Thankful 30 pictures from, I want to say it had to have been 2 years ago now. And what I mean by that, if you're unsure, is I took a photo, pretty much either took a photo or used a photo for every day in November 2 years ago, and wrote a little something about it. The photos may not always happen on that day, but I may share a photo about like what I'm thankful for that day, if that makes sense. So I have a few photos from like our little photo shoot that we did as a family, and then I would like to go back and like write what I'm thankful for on the back of these pages, just so like, or what I was particularly thankful for, because some of these have some really good little stories behind them. And even though the picture like doesn't capture that, the story kind of tells a little bit more. And so I would like to maybe print those out and then adhere them to another page and then slide them in the back of the pages. So I used quite a bit of bulk, like with the frame and that wood veneer piece on the other one. So I like didn't want to add too much. I didn't want to add a whole other page because it would have been way too bulky. And so what I do is I'm just going to use a separate sleeve for this page. And then again, I can go back and add journaling to the back of each one. So now that I have my little cluster there, I used several of the things that I used in the previous page. And I like the way it's looking so far, but I would like to add another piece of like one of those little wood decorative floral pieces. And then I think I get pretty close to wrapping up. I know I'm looking for like another little element to add to like the bottom right hand corner, and I found this flower and I thought it tied in nicely with that other flower. And then I know I want to add a little something like right on top of that. So I had a couple of little scraps that I even thought about adding. And this little photo frame type of thing that I thought was cute, I do go ahead and pull that flower up and then add that back on top of there just to give it a little bit more like texture and some more layers. And I think lastly, I am going to add a tiny phrase of some sort on top of the flower piece and or the flower like ephemera. And then that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this process and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.